Hi, my name is Vivian Lee. Welcome to Plant Power Metro New York's honor of Asian American Pacific Island Heritage Month. Today, I will be demonstrating a simple, nutritious, and visually appealing dish called Temaki Sushi, which originates from Japan. And it's a hand rolled sushi, which I have here as an example for you to see. And we'll get started. So this Temaki Sushi, which you see here, I've prepared sample. A lot of the work is assembling, and it'll require some prep work in advance. And I have my selection of veggies from yellow bell pepper to carrots to thinly sliced scallions. And I just cut off the white bulb and used the whole scallion. Then I have some sliced avocado, and this is a baked strips of tofu marinated in soy sauce. I'll have the recipe for that available for you. Some thinly sliced cucumbers. And the main base is our quinoa and brown rice. This is a combination of quinoa, 3/4 cups, and 3/4 cups of brown rice, and a cup and a half of water. And of course, you need everything to be wrapped up in this seaweed or nori. And this, you'll notice, is a smaller cut of the full sheet that you might be accustomed to. I did purchase this pre-cut nori sheets from a local Asian grocery store, but if you have the full sheet, you can simply cut it not exactly halfway, but I would cut it about closer to 2/3. I'm just going to demonstrate how I sliced the yellow bell pepper. So you'll notice that I try to cut as close to what I can get for a flat piece of the bell pepper. And then from here, I'll thinly slice it like this. I find that cutting these thinner is better to put in the sushi. Otherwise, if your slices are a little too thick, you might just be limited to putting one. But it's really up to your choice of how thick or how thin you would like the bell pepper slices. Okay, I'll just add those here. And then the way I cut these scallions, which typically I think we cut them in smaller pieces, not long lengthwise. So what I did is I just cut straight in the middle. So I've cut straight in the middle, and I'll cut this again. Might be a little slippery. But you'll notice that I'm able to then cut into thin slices. I love scallions because they give a nice addition of spice without overdoing it. It has a little bit of a peppery flavor. So I'll add those to our plate. Now for the tofu strips, I already pre-baked it or made it in advance. I will include the recipe, but this only required 3 ingredients, which was low sodium soy sauce, lemon juice, and some maple syrup, and also cornstarch right before you put it in the oven. But this is a great substitute for something meaty. You could also replace it or add mushrooms instead as well. So the thing about this dish is that there's no set formula. You can add however much variety of vegetables that you'd like. I've seen sprouts. You can add sprouts. You could also add onions if you like. The possibilities are endless. So that's what's great about this dish. So I think the hardest part of this is the wrapping. And I haven't mastered it myself yet, but there is a trick to this. So I'm going to lay out my sheet of nori here. Now, if you look at the strip and visualize into 3 parts, you're going to take your green. Let me find my spoon. Okay. Great combination of brown rice and quinoa. The reason why I added quinoa or combined quinoa with the brown rice was I wanted to bulk up a little bit on the protein, but you can certainly choose just brown rice. I would be hesitant to use just quinoa just because I think brown rice holds better. My concern with the quinoa is that it's smaller and it won't stick to each other as well as brown rice. So I'm going to grab my first spoon. And so I'm going to use the first third from the left and add my rice here. And I'm not going to add the rice too close to the edge because I find that when I do that, the rice spills over when I wrap it. So I got my rice. And now I get to add my toppings or my fillings. So I'm going to start with my carrots and I'm going to start placing them diagonally. And this is because when you wrap it, you're going to be wrapping from the bottom left corner. And so the way it will end after you finish wrapping is this will be in the middle. I'll also add my bell pepper. And you can see already the colors are popping. I'm going to add a little bit of my avocado in the middle. It's a little bit heavier. It's wider, so I'm going to put it in the bottom so that it can hold. And then actually I will add my cucumber. This is quite large, so I'll have one. And then my tofu. And I'll finish off with a few strips of my scallion. It also looks like garnish a little bit. Okay, so this is the hardest part if there is one in this dish. So I'm going to start from my bottom left and I'm going to hold the fillings inside as I start to roll. And I'm going to continue rolling until I get something like this. Now, I also find that if I have this flap that's not closing in, I'll take a little bit of that rice, I'll mash it up, and I'll use it as a glue to seal my hand roll sushi. And I'm going to finish it off with some sesame seeds. So I have black sesame seeds and I have white sesame seeds. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. I'm going to use both. And that is your Temaki Sushi or your hand roll sushi. I hope you enjoy this and this inspires you to make your own. It's family friendly. You can do it with your loved ones, the little ones as well. And I hope you enjoy this recipe.